All right, now we move on to Group B, which features the likes of Belgium, Romania, Slovakia, and Ukraine. So Belgium comes in as the favorites for this group for sure. They've got the most quality all over the board with stars like Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, and more. Now on to Ukraine. Ukraine's become a staple in these tournaments, and they perform quite admirably. With an attack consisting of Mudryk and the Girona connection of Dovbyk and Tsigankov, I think there's someone to be scared of over here. Next up, we've got Slovakia. Between Hanko, Skriniar, Lobotka, and Dubravka, they've shown that they've got some seriously legitimate defensive quality. Furthermore, in qualifying, they proved that they can go ahead and beat teams that are at their level or lower, very, very consistently. However, they were seemingly losing pretty consistently to better teams, like Austria, and when they lost to Portugal twice. Until they beat Belgium today, because we're recording this late, unfortunately. So now my views are kind of shifting. But yeah, Slovakia, very solid team, especially defensively. Romania. Full disclosure, I was completely off Romania when the tournament started. However, after watching that performance today, they've got a solid squad. And it's a very balanced squad. With midfielders like Cikaldu and Stanciu, and then guys like Man and Mikalia on the wings, solid defense in Dragusin and all the other guys there, this team can go places because it's so balanced. Anyone can score on any given day, and that's what makes them a dangerous team.
First match day brought us two upsets. Romania destroyed Ukraine, while Slovakia topped Belgium. Romania was able to show why they topped Switzerland in their qualification group, while Ukraine clearly didn't play at their best. In the meantime, Belgium didn't capitalize on their chances, thanks in part to Lukaku and lack of luck, while Slovakia was able to capitalize on their chance, and Lobotka just burned out the midfield.
So now we're going to move on to match day 2 and try to predict match day 2 and 3. So first up, we've got Ukraine versus Slovakia. I think Ukraine's going to look at that loss in match day 1 and realize that they need to go all out to stand a chance in this group, because they still have to play Belgium and Slovakia, and they're going to need a minimum of 3 points to stand a chance, more realistically 4. I think they're going to go for it against Slovakia, which is going to make this an interesting game, because Slovakia is very good defensively. However, I think Ukraine's going to break through and get a tight 2-1 win. However, realistically, anything could happen in this match. I just don't envision a draw because I think they're going to be so gung-ho and Slovakia's going to have so much space to counter.
Ukraine seems to be a more balanced team throughout the lineup than Slovakia, which has great defense but issues up front. It looks like it will be a tough game, but Ukraine will be able to win 2-1.
Then we got Belgium versus Romania. Romania put together an excellent showing, but I'd argue that Belgium was pretty unlucky in their match against Slovakia not to score. I think Belgium's going to take this one 3-1. That's not to say anything against Romania. They played a fantastic game. I think they will against Belgium as well. However, you're not always going to score 3 goals off 1xG like they did against Ukraine.
Despite the results of game day 1, I think Belgium is simply better than Romania. I'm not sure that Romania will be able to sustain the pressure from Lukaku, De Bruyne, De Ketelaere, and Doku, but I might be surprised by Romania again, since they won 3 of the last 5 games against Belgium. We'll see what happens here. I think it will be an interesting game to watch.
Between Ukraine and Belgium, both teams absolutely need to win this game to go through, and I think Belgium's gonna beat Ukraine due to sheer class. We're going to get a nice 2-1 win for Belgium. Goals from Kevin De Bruyne and Romelu Lukaku. The stars coming up big when it really matters.
If match day 2 turns out to be as I predicted, then Ukraine-Belgium would be a sudden death game. The one who loses here will take the 4th place, in case of a draw between Romania and Slovakia. It could mean that this will be a very close game, with a limited number of opportunities where no one would be able to score. And I think it will actually go this route, and this game will end in a 1-1 draw, despite featuring 2 very quality teams. In other circumstances, this could be a benefit of football, ending in a crazy scoreline like 3-2 or 3-3, but I don't think we'll see it this time, as both teams would want to go through the playoffs. What happens towards the end of this game is actually highly dependent on what will be happening in the Slovakia-Romania game, as if there will be a draw, then Ukraine would be forced to attack, since a draw would leave them without playoff spot. In that case, Belgium can counter and simply win the game. So it's totally unpredictable what will happen here.
As for Slovakia versus Romania, I think both these teams look at this on 3 points going into the last match day and realize that they could just take a draw here and both get through. And I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. That's not to say they're not going to try to get a win, but I think they're going to play relatively conservative and defensive approaches. And as a result, we're going to get a 1-1 draw here, with both teams going to a knockout stage.
After day 1, Romania and Slovakia both just needed a draw to advance to playoffs, as 4 points virtually guarantee a spot there. Moreover, 4 of 6 last games between Slovakia and Romania ended in a draw. I actually think this will be a calm draw, ending in maybe 1-1 or even 0-0, that will allow both teams to go to playoffs, which no one, including me, would have predicted before the start of the tournament.
At the end of match day 3, you'll have Belgium with 6 points, Romania with 4, Slovakia with 4, but in third due to Romania's goal difference that they developed against Ukraine, and Ukraine in last place with 3 points. This is going to be a very tight and interesting group.
If my predictions are correct, then we would witness a unique situation in this group. All 4 teams would have 4 points. The tiebreakers would come in handy here. As a result, Belgium will take the first spot due to having a goal difference of +1, which is the same as Romania. But according to my predictions, Belgium is going to beat Romania, which means Belgium would be first and Romania would be second. Next, Slovakia will have a goal differential of 0 and Ukraine will have a goal differential of -1. However, since at this point we'll only compare these 2 teams, Ukraine would finish first since they beat Slovakia in their matchup. So Ukraine goes third and Slovakia goes home with 4 points. This is insane.